Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into the story of how one small Texas town, kind of out of nowhere, became a powerhouse on the world's spirits map.
So, what is the secret recipe here? I mean, how did Dripping Springs, Texas go from being this quiet little spot in the hill country to a global destination that has spirit lovers all over the world talking? Well, let's get into it.
Think of this as your virtual tour. We're going to look at what makes this region so perfect for making spirits, check out the really cool way people get around to tour the area, and of course, sample some of the incredible tastes you can find there.
Right, so why here? I mean, Texas is huge, right? What is it about this one spot that's so special? Turns out the answer is like a perfect recipe, a really unique mix of geology, climate, and just plain old human spirit. It really boils down to this incredible trio. First, you've got the geology. We're talking pure, mineral-rich water that's been filtered through limestone, giving you the perfect starting point. Then there's the climate. That intense Texas heat does something wild to the aging process, and we'll talk more about that in a minute. And last, but definitely not least, the people. A whole community of passionate entrepreneurs who didn't just see potential. They went out and built a whole movement from scratch.
Okay, so having world-class distilleries is one thing, but, getting people to them safely and in style, that's a whole other ballgame. This is where the journey itself really becomes part of the whole experience. It's way more than just getting from point A to point B.
The key that really unlocked this region for thousands and thousands of visitors has been the curated bus tour. Over 10,000 happy customers have used this model, and it's pretty much perfected how to experience the hill country without any of the hassle.
And listen, these are not your old-school tour buses. Not even close. They're basically luxury lounges that move. We're talking premium sound systems, mood lighting, and, a bring-your-own beverage policy with coolers and ice ready to go. The party keeps going between each stop, and you've got a professional chauffeur handling all the driving. But of course, the main event is what's waiting for you at each of these amazing stops. So let's take a little tour through some of the tastes that really put Dripping Springs on the map.
Our first stop is a real Texas success story. And Deep Eddy, well, it isn't just a local favorite. It's one of the most recognized, most successful craft vodkas in the entire country.
So how did Deep Eddy get this awesome title, the crown jewel of Dripping Springs? Simple. They did something kind of revolutionary in the world of flavored vodka. They said no to all the artificial junk and committed to using only high-quality, real ingredients.
And wow, the results really speak for themselves. They started back in 2010, and now they're in all 50 states. Their whole success story is built on this simple idea: use great American corn and real fruit juices for your flavors. That focus on quality is what turned a small Texas operation into a household name and the true anchor of the whole Dripping Springs spirit scene.
Okay, so from the modern splash of vodka, let's switch gears. Now we're heading to a distillery that's all about honoring deep Texas heritage, while at the same time really pushing the limits of American whiskey.
Treaty Oak is the perfect example of this idea of tradition meeting innovation. They have this grain-to-glass philosophy, which means they use local Texas grains and that signature limestone-filtered water to make whiskeys with a flavor that is just unmistakably Texan.
And this is where that crazy Texas climate becomes a secret weapon. It's actually pretty cool. As the slide shows, these huge temperature swings force the whiskey to move in and out of the barrel's wood, basically putting the whole maturation process on hyperspeed. You get these bold, mature flavors way faster than you would in a more traditional whiskey spot like Kentucky.
All right, for our final taste, we're trying something really unique. I mean, this is a spirit a lot of people have never even heard of. Get ready for Texas's native spirit, Sotol.
Now, people often lump Sotol in with tequila, but they are completely different. For starters, it comes from a different plant, the desert spoon, not blue agave, and that gives it this more earthy, grassy flavor. And get this, it actually holds the title for being the first distilled spirit in North America. Talk about a true taste of the Texas landscape. So with all these incredible places to check out, how do you even begin to craft the perfect adventure? Well, the good news is it's not a one-size-fits-all kind of thing.
The tours are super customizable, with packages designed for just about any interest you can think of. For instance, the classic Hill Country tour is perfect if it's your first time and you want to see a little bit of everything. But hey, if you're a serious whiskey fan, there's a longer, more in-depth tour that's all about barrel tastings. There's truly a perfect itinerary out there for everyone.
So, at the end of the day, after all the tasting and touring, it becomes crystal clear that this journey through Dripping Springs,
is about so much more than what's just in your glass.
You know, the big takeaway here is that these tours really give you a window into the culture and the innovative spirit of modern Texas. You're supporting these passionate local business owners, you're experiencing a true grain-to-glass movement, and you're connecting with the very land that gives these spirits their unique soul.
Well, in Drippin' Springs, it seems to taste a lot like limestone, filtered water, Texas-aged oak, and a big healthy dose of entrepreneurial grit. Thanks for joining us for this Explainer.